Toward the end of last week's parsha, Moshe is sent by God to Paro with a simple request. Allow Israel to travel 3 days into the desert to worship him. That mission does not go well. Paro refused, mocks the very idea, and even intensified the people's labor. In this week's parsha VaEra, God reassures Moshe that despite Paro's reaction, Israel's redemption is on its way. God will take Israel out of Egypt, bring them to the land of their forefathers, and fulfill his covenant with Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. He also tells Moshe that he will harden Paro's heart, so that Paro will not listen. Through this, God will place his hand upon Egypt, bringing Israel out with great judgments. The Torah then adds, and Egypt will know that I am God. This raises an important question. Why was it so essential that Egypt know that he is God? Abarbanel explains that many in Egypt denied God's existence entirely. The plagues therefore served as a direct revelation, demonstrating unmistakably who God is. Rav David Tzvi Hoffman offers a similar idea. Even those steeped in a world of many gods would come to recognize the one God, but only through the painful experience of punishment. Malbim adds that Egypt's denial would persist even after the plagues. They would still chase after Israel to the sea, continuing to question God's power. Only at the very end, when confronted with the full force of divine judgment, would they finally understand. Taken together, these commentators paint a clear picture. It was not only Paro who denied God, but Egyptian society as a whole. As the leading civilization of its time, Egypt saw itself as supreme. The Exodus shattered that illusion and revealed that human power is nothing compared to, and certainly not independent of, God. The Lekach Tov takes a different route and connects Egypt's knowing of God directly to Paro's earlier words. When Moshe first approached him, Paro scoffed, "Who is God that I should listen to him? I do not know God, and I will not send out Israel." Building on the Lekach Tov's insight into the repeated use of the word "no," we can offer the following idea. Chazal teach in Sanhedrin 90a that God interacts with us measure for measure. Paro's very public arrogance becomes the basis for his downfall. He claimed not to recognize God, so not only will he come to recognize God, but all of Egypt will as well. He declared that he would not send out Israel, so not only will he ultimately drive them out, but it will be unmistakably clear that it is God and not Paro who is truly taking Israel out. But this knowing was not meant only for the Egyptians. It was also meant for Israel. And the Torah connects us through the very same word in next week's Parsha. God brings these signs and wonders upon Egypt so that you will know that I am God. And so you will tell your children what happened. If the plagues were directed at Egypt, why was it so important for every generation of Israel to retell the story? Beyond the familiar reasons, there is another important one. Without reinforcement, memory fades. Just as a new king arose who did not know Yosef, so too the world would eventually forget what God did to Egypt. But Israel would keep the memory alive. And by preserving that memory, through teaching, through storytelling, through living the legacy of the Exodus, Israel ensures that the world continues to remember what God did in Egypt, and through that, come to know God. Shabbat Shalom.